London! Quick!
This Wednesday evening, Hugo Burlap is buried. The world mourns a great international statesman. And trouble brewing in the Caribbean. Maguadoran troops seize British Santa Maya. 3 days after it happened, Americans are still stunned by the tragic death of the man who was our best-loved president of this century. 78-year-old Hugo Burlap died peacefully at the White House on Sunday after challenging a reporter to slug him in the stomach with a crowbar as proof of his physical fitness. Vice President Barbara Adams was sworn in at noon yesterday to the job she thought she would never hold, that of the most powerful leader in the Western world.
Hugo Burlap personified the American dream. For a man to rise from a humble circus clown to President of the United States, I believe speaks volumes for our democratic tradition. And I am proud to step into his shoes.
To the world, he was an ambassador for peace, truth, and the American ideal. But to citizens in his hometown of Cleveland, Ohio, he will always be Uncle Yuck Yuck, star of the Big Top. And it was in Cleveland at 11:30 this morning that the president was finally laid to rest, according to his last wishes. Members of the president's family were joined by heads of state and prime ministers from across the globe in an act of homage to the man who shaped the course of modern America. What then of our nation's new chief executive, Barbara Jacqueline Adams? Shrewd, sensible, compassionate, scrupulously honest, she has overcome all these handicaps to become President of the United States. Right now, her major concern will be the crisis in Central America, where 24 hours ago, Maguadoran tanks rolled into British Santa Maya. Reaction in London was swift.
Mr. Speaker, I do not propose to sink to the opposition's petty level by explaining why the invasion took place. What is paramount now is the safety of the Santa Mayan people. Throughout history, we in these islands have nurtured the twin flowers of freedom and equality. Liberty is our birthright, Mr. Speaker. Democracy will prevail.
Meanwhile, in Santa Maya,
I give you your new Presidente, Generalissimo Francisco di Carna Mosquera.
the new military ruler met with a frosty reception.
People of Santa Maya, today you are liberated from the British imperialists. You are, once again, free citizens of the Republic of Magadora.
How will President Adams respond to Mosquera's action? Well, one man whose advice she will be listening to is former President Jack Preston, author of the book Commie Bastards I Have Known, and a leading authority on Caribbean affairs. Tomorrow morning, she'll be flying out to California for top-level consultations with the former president in an attempt to defuse this potentially explosive situation.
Yes, sir.
We have an appointment to see the former President of the United States.
Yes, sir. President Preston is expecting you. Right through there and to your left.
Thank you very much.
Hi,
Madam President.
Mr. President.
Bill! Great to see you again.
So, Mr. President, how's life?
Oh, still serving it.
Mr. President, I don't know if they let you see newspapers here, but we've been having some problems down in the Caribbean.
I heard about that, sure.
Up till now, our support for Mascara has been ironclad.
Oh, he eats commies for breakfast, right?
At the same time, Britain is our oldest ally in the world.
Sure, sure. Listen, in my estimation, this is a whole dish of worms that could squeal antsy in the long ticket. We need to hump out wide, hype up the squeak bag before they screw down the jam box.
Excuse me?
Always fox the grease monkeys. They won't tango till you crack down the fish pot. You can't risk hell shit with a bunch of Lulu pig suckers!
So, to give our support to Britain would be entirely...
The only solution.
The only solution, right.
You see, you can't empty your fish pan till the heat's off the mugwump. Always take down the gizmo and caveat the cranker before...
Mr. President, it's been an education.
A pleasure, madam. Bill!
What a guy.
I can just tell you that the president has persuaded both sides to meet across the table, and these talks will take place in Miami tomorrow.
Ed Gardner, Tribune.
Yeah.
Will the president be chairing these talks herself?
No, there'll be no U.S. presence.
Bob Sangster, Newsweek. Does the president feel Magwadora can be persuaded to withdraw from British soil?
Oh, I think she's still hopeful. Yeah.
Ron Horrocks, Reader's Digest.
Yeah.
Has the president ever yearned to own a hand-tooled guide to the waterways of Manitoba?
Yes, well, when the talks broke for lunch, Bob, what did the British Foreign Secretary have to say? Well, did he seem like he was in a good mood? Was he joking or laughing or... When you say walking with a stoop, Bob, how do you mean that exactly?
That while the international peace talks between Great Britain and Mogador are taking place, security checks will be in operation. We apologize for any inconvenience.
Hold it! What do you got in the trunk?
Oh, just a little merchandise.
Merchandise? What kind of merchandise?
Oh, just a few samples. See, I'm a traveling salesman. Wanger's the name. Richard Milhouse Wanger of Wanger, Whipple, and Waddy. See, we're manufacturers of games and novelties. Probably have heard of us.
No. Open the trunk.
Oh, you bet. Boy, it sure is hot today, isn't it?
What is all this crap? Duodeno ulcer?
Yeah, that's one of our new executive games. Very popular, Madison Avenue.
Spunky Spaniel?
Oh, he's a whole heap full of fun, sir. See, you just put the batteries in here, and then you clamp it on a friend's leg, and away the little fella goes. It's all very, Uh-oh. Oh, my goodness.
Are you okay?
No, it's nothing. It's just a small bout of swamp fever contracted during a Snoopy Doll Symposium in the Upper Congo. I'll be all right. Well, what do you got here? Some kind of a security alert?
Hey, you got that right. It's a Magadora peace talks. Floors 7 through 15 are strictly off limits.
Oh, yes. Off limits.
What's under this down here?
My God, my teeth are coming loose. I hope this isn't contagious. I wouldn't want anyone...
Oh, my God, get this out of here. Jesus, move it, move it, move it.
Thank you, get it out here.
And stay on your own floor. Next.
Doesn't look very hopeful, the sovereignty question, does it? Still, there may yet be a compromise formula we can find. I have a feeling it's going to be a very long afternoon.
Hey, how you doing, bro? Glad to know you.
Who the hell are you? Where's Larry?
Oh, Larry's sick, man. Contracted hepatitis from a septic squeegee. I've just been sent down here by the agency.
Agency?
Yeah, Waxahachie Window Care. High-rise maintenance in 47 states and an equal opportunity employer.
Jesus Christ.
No, my name is Nitz, man. Conway Nitz III. What's the matter with you? Oh, man, I forgot to introduce you to my dog, Happy. Well, I tell you, without this little Labrador, I'd be blinder than a bug in a badger's backside. Say, one of you guys help me into this cradle. We can bind some rubber on this glass.
Listen, I don't figure this at all. I'm gonna call my boss. You stay right here. You hear me?
Get some smokes.
Sir?
Right. Here, boy.
Go.
For God's sake, see if there's a doctor in the place.
Watch where you're going, you great retard.
Doctor! You've had a very lucky break, gentlemen. But for the fortuitous rare chance I was in town, lecturing on my new breakthrough in the culture of rabies vaccine, this could have been embalming fluid you're having dabbed on. Yes. Now, you'll all just hold perfectly still while I prepare the hypodermics. Well, all finished now, thank you. If we could have the payment sent to me at this address, please. Penis is the name. Dr. Theseus Linden Penis. I accept all major credit cards. Gentlemen?
The British delegation have had time to consider our proposals. They have formulated their official response.
I'm sure they have, gentlemen.
Is the CIA sure of these facts? They say the Santa Mayan peace talks were deliberately sabotaged by this mercenary, Lacrobat,
to provoke a war in the Caribbean and assist a major arms contract between Maguadora and the American weapons company Nevada Technics. Let's just pray to God the press doesn't get a hold of this one.
Here is a late news flash. A top-secret report issued by the CIA reveals that the Santa Maya peace talks were deliberately sabotaged by the mercenary Lacrobat to provoke a war in the Caribbean and assist a major arms contract between Maguadora and the American weapons company Nevada Technics. L'acrobat is the world's most wanted terrorist, and his methods, though bizarre, are terrifyingly effective. He's already wanted for 27 major international crimes, including 6 assassinations and the recipe for airline lunches. And the news that he's once again at large in the West is bound to be a cause for concern. I'll be talking to President Adams about the Nevada Technics scandal live on the phone from the Oval Office in just a moment.
This is suicide, Marv.
Nothing to worry about, madam. Mr. Sweetzer's here.
Oh, fine, good. Who the hell is Mr. Sweetser?
Madam, this report claims Nevada Technics used a hitman, L'acrobat, to wreck the peace process in order to grease a major arms deal.
Oh, well, I wouldn't put too much reliance on that.
And if that's true, Nevada Technics would have a lot to answer for, wouldn't they?
Oh, well, yes, of course, but...
Madam President, you are, of course, married to the chairman of Nevada Technics.
Yes, well, as you know, as you may know, my husband is away at present on business in Australia, and I wouldn't want to preempt anything. I don't mean preempt. I wouldn't want to say anything.
Oh. Pardon me, madam. Well, I'm afraid the line appears to be breaking up. We'll get back to that one later on.
Well, hell, Jerry, it's your company. Find out who hired this lunatic. Our press over here has been worse than the Manson family got. Plus, our protege in the Caribbean decides to open a new branch of Gestapo Limited in the country next door. And now the British Prime Minister's about to play with his toy boats down there, which presents the U.S. with a small dilemma, to say the least. Well, I miss you too, Superman. Finish your work and hurry home soon, okay? Okay, honey. Bye-bye for now.
Someone was out to wreck the peace conference, Prime Minister. There's no doubt about that.
They succeeded. Mosquera refuses even to discuss Santa Mare anymore.
He may change his mind, of course. International opinion's totally against him.
I don't know. He's a very determined man.
And so am I, gentlemen. Make no mistake about that. And what's more, the people are behind me. According to the Wireless today, my current popularity rating is higher than any other national leader in peacetime. Astonishing. Still, it does demonstrate a great groundswell of confidence in our policies. And remember, gentlemen, we didn't win at Dunkirk by running away. Santa Mare must be liberated, and we shall use every means at our disposal. Even diplomacy, should it ever come to that. Because peace is the greatest thing that any man can fight for. And fight we shall. Fight until victory is final.
Darling! Darling, where are you?
In here, darling. Did you get the strawberry jam?
No, I didn't get it.
Oh. Dickie, you went into the village specially. What am I going to give the rector for tea when he comes? Dickie, there's something wrong.
Wrong? Well, not really, old thing. Nothing to get in a tizzy over. You'll hear soon enough. It looks as if there's going to be a bit of a scrap in the Caribbean. They're sending a task force down to get the Maguires out of Santa Mare.
Dickie.
This telegram is waiting at the post office. Everyone's to report to Portsmouth by 6 o'clock tonight.
Tonight? But Oh, God.
Chin up now. It won't be so bad. One knows one's duty, and I'm not afraid. I'll see it through. I'm not scared.
Of course not. You're not the one that's got to go.
No, I know. Just as well, really. I get damnably seasick. I suppose you'll be wanting your uniform back then.
seat on page 3. Now, point the gun at the genitals. That's it. Smile. Oh, this is going to be great. Now, show us what you think of the best of me.
What the hell's going on here?
You get these women covered up.
And get these two cretins out of here before I call the police!
Sir!
What is it?
I think you better take a look at this.
Come on, you stand there, police!
Oh, my God. They've finally done it. They've finally done the unthinkable.
157 warships I would call a slight overreaction to the problem, Marv. This kind of saber rattling we don't need right now.
Absolutely, madam.
What are the chances of getting Mascara back to the negotiating table?
Well, after what happened in Miami, I guess he's not feeling too talkative anymore.
Get worked up over a goddamn banana plantation, and we've got to clean up the mess.
Support for the fascist dictatorship is...
We must keep the peace process alive at all costs,
Death
Marv.
to the Nazi junta!
I want a session with both ambassadors as soon as we're back in Washington.
Yes, ma'am.
Welcome to Jacksonville, Florida.
Two more days and we should be in the Caribbean. From here on, I want every ship in this fleet, every sailor, every soldier put on red alert. We're about to enter a potential battle zone.
Sir, dispatch just in from London.
Buckingham Palace.
It's Princess Wendy, sir. They want to transfer it off HMS Shropshire and onto this ship immediately. In secret, to foil the enemy.
Bastards! They should never have let her come in the first place. This task force needs a royal princess in the Wrens like an outbreak of typhus.
Not at all, Your Royal Highness. We're delighted to have you aboard.
Basically, one just wants to be treated like any other ordinary nursing officer, sir. I'm sure you understand. No fuss or favors.
Absolutely not, ma'am. Of course. This is your cabin.
Thank you.
If those two medical experiments from the press get wind of this, we've had it. It'd be like throwing raw meat to a pack of jackals.
Don't worry, sir. We'll keep our Royal Highness well under wraps. They won't even know she's on board.
Yes, just as I thought, Your Highness. Strangulated hernia in the groin. It'll have to be surgery. Shave him, would you, ma'am? I'll be back in 5 minutes.
God. It's not the fact, gentlemen, that one of my soldiers has just been horribly castrated by a member of Britain's royal family. It is not even the fact that in the blind panic that followed, a pair of Lipton's tea bags were erroneously sewn back into the patient's scrotum. And the fact not discovered until 3 hours later when someone was rinsing out the teapot. No, gentlemen. This was the real coup de grace. This dispatch I found not 10 minutes ago in the wire room. Wholly chopped meat. Princess Wendy went whittling with a razor yesterday and had a ball. Yes, sirree. Another young soldier waved goodbye to his loved ones as Her Royal Highness went crazy with the cutthroat during a routine pre-op shave on Britain's flagship HMS Lion, where she was secretly transferred to... Oh, holy godfathers! Is there any more classified information you'd like to broadcast to the world? You are a liability to every man and woman in this fleet, and I'm having you put off this ship at the next island we come to.
I hope they whip the ass off ya! Lousy, stinking mothers. Jesus.
The main stories this Friday evening. Edna Berkovitz, the woman who secured a lock of Frank Sinatra's hair in 1955, has today sold it back to him for an undisclosed sum. And as the British task force steams south for the Caribbean, hopes are fading for a peaceful end to the Santa Maya crisis. Details shortly.
Madam President.
What is it, Marv?
Priority Alpha from the Pentagon.
Let me have it.
Santa Maya, madam. British fleet just got in 50 miles off the coast and was fired on by a Maguadoran destroyer. I mean, all hell's gonna break loose down there any minute.
Better patch me through to London and Maguadora City.
Right, ma'am. If anybody can stop these two countries from going to war, it's the President of the United States.
President Adams was not a little miffed. Apparently the White House wanted us all to go on talking. Huh. Talk about giving a man on the guillotine an aspirin. Until Maguadora recognizes Britain's right to sovereignty, there could be no question of pulling out our troops.
Absolutely. Madness.
And now to another equally serious problem. The record level of unemployment. Now, some people argue this crisis is the result of government mismanagement and underspending. Well, they could not be more wrong.
Yeah.
Because we all know what really causes unemployment in this country, don't we, gentlemen? Unemployment in this country is caused by pixies. I don't mean the nice, ordinary ones who sit on toadstools playing a whistle. I'm talking about the nasty, evil, malevolent pixies. The tiny green ones with the black pointy beards who go around our factories, and we've all seen them, who go around our factories casting their wicked spells and bringing about mass redundancies on a scale not witnessed since the Great Depression.
When did you actually form this theory, Prime Minister?
Well, to be perfectly honest, Nigel, the pieces only really sort of gelled in my mind, so to speak, last weekend. I was up visiting a factory in Stockport. Literally hundreds had lost their jobs, and small wonder. The place was crawling with them.
With, pixies?
Yeah, pixies, sprites, elfin folk, all manner of goblinry. Certainly opened my eyes, I can tell you. And that's why I've launched this new campaign.
I see. What campaign?
The Stamp Out Evil Pixies campaign. The public have got to be educated on this one, Nigel. Mostly, they're about 7.5 inches tall, and they get in through the air vents. Now, the worst type of all are the invisible ones.
Our support for Sir Mortimer Crisp remains unequivocal. When the Prime Minister talks of pixies. He is clearly using the term in a metaphorical sense to denote disruptive elements within British industry.
How do you explain the fact that he has just set up an anti-goblin unit to bait them with gingerbread traps?
I think that's enough questions for today, gentlemen.
He's brainwashed the entire country. He's gone stark, staring, raving.
Morning.
Morning, Prime Minister.
It's all right, ladies and gentlemen. Nest of leprechauns in the bread bin. Right, down to business. Good. Well, having established the root causes of stagnation in the country, what we need now is a radical job creation program. Now, I've devised one here that will create 500,000 new jobs in its first year of operation. Basically, the scheme works like this. Every week, 10,000 working people jump off a cliff, thus creating 10,000 new jobs. I've drawn up a white paper here, gentlemen, if you care to cast your eyes over it.
Well, I think he's bloody marvellous. He brought us through the war, and I think he could do the same for the economy. Aye! I am. I'm proud to leave to my certain death for Britain.
Bye, well done. Ah, hello, how are you?
Oh, I'm fine, sir.
Jolly good, what do you do?
Well, I'm in industrial engineering, sir.
Oh, that's super. We can certainly do with a lot more vacancies there. You get everything you want? How about if I give this one a little push? Good. Good for you, good for you, good for me. There we are, little push.
How's that?
Good. Ah, right, okay. Next. They do add up. May seem a little severe, I agree, but then it's always the horrid-tasting medicine that does you the most good.
Right, that's it. This has been on quite long enough. I've got all I can take.
Who are you ringing?
Now, let me see if I have this straight here. You're telling me that the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, the man who has his finger on Britain's nuclear trigger, the man to whom we have promised complete, unconditional support in anything he says or does, is clinically insane?
That's a pretty fair summary.
From what the Foreign Secretary has told us, and from our own intelligence, there appears to be little doubt.
You're telling me that the entire population of Great Britain went and elected a deranged psychotic to the highest office of the land? Again? Okay, okay. Send him in.
Mr. Virgil Grodd, madam, from the CIA Directorate of Plans. Comes highly recommended.
This is a very delicate matter, Mr. Grodd. It requires a man with special qualities.
You'll not find me lacking in tenacity, madam. I have trained my body to endure any level of pain by sheer willpower. I can place my genitalia into a burning candle flame without flinching once.
That's a very useful discipline, I'm sure, Mr. Grodd. But I don't think we have... No.
I have a candle here if you'd like to see me.
No, Mr. Grodd, perhaps we could concentrate on the reason for which we called you in.
As I comprehend it, you want me to eliminate the Prime Minister
Mr.
of...
Grodd, I, as President of the United States, have no knowledge whatsoever of whatever it is I've called you in to do.
Naturally, madam, I fully understand. And I've taken the liberty of drawing up a provisional plan of operations here. In approximately 3 hours, I and 2 Cuban agents will board a plane for London and check into a small hotel close to Whitehall. At 0900 hours, we circulate rigged Polaroids of the Prime Minister performing an unnatural act with a horse.
Fine. Mr. Grodd, I think I heard enough of the details for now.
As a diversion to the media, we engineer a sudden outbreak of herpes
Mr.
among the royal
Grodd.
family, and as soon as Her Majesty checks into the...
Mr. Grodd!
Thank God. I was starting to think this place was deserted.
Howdy doody pals. May we remind all vacationers of today's special activities. Relax and enjoy swimming, running, gymnastics, and tractor maintenance with our many smiling instructors. Plus, tonight in the Malibu Ballroom, compulsory disco dancing.
Can I help you, gentlemen?
Hi. We're members of the press, here on an international fact-finding tour in the Caribbean. Wondering if we could have a room here for a few nights.
Unfortunately, all of our rooms are completely taken. We are at the very peak of our tourist season.
Listen, I need to make a couple of phone calls.
I am afraid that we do not have a single telephone on the island. Out of order. All the lines were damaged in the monsoon.
Monsoon?
Rain shortage? Earthquake.
Earthquake? Look.
As I said, sir, this sunshine paradise is very popular with your American holiday visitors. Come this way, please. And this is the dining room.
We regret to announce that all our dining tables are as booked up as can be. Today's mouth-watering menu, Molotov cocktail, Gulag Archipelago burger.
As you can see, we are full right up at the moment. All the hotels on this booming trade tourist paradise are completely booked. Take a gander, Polly.
We regret to announce there is an 18-month waiting list to use the lavatory.
We could not fit in a single extra body. So, as you can see, gentlemen, you have no alternative but to hire a boat back to the mainland at once. But please tell all your friends about our flourishing holiday industry. The way out is just over there.
We regret to announce that tonight's beach party and Winnie Rose has been cancelled due to an avalanche.
Thanks
also,
a million,
a
kiddo.
reminder that limbo dancing under the roadblocks is strictly forbidden. Thank you.
На здоровье. Живут два американских журналистов. Надо их ликвидировать сразу же.
That's very impressive, Mr. Grodd.
Thank you, sir. And now to business, gentlemen. This is an exact replica of the Prime Minister's bath oil. Scratched on the side, Herod's price tag, worn gold on the cap right here. We know he uses this every morning. Tomorrow, things will be a little different. Concentrated trioxalic acid dissolves solid steel in 15 seconds. As soon as he steps into his bathtub, like a snowman in a sauna bath. Now the main... Are you okay?
Excuse me. I suppose there's really no other answer. He's got to go.
There's no way this operation can fail, Mr. Sumter. You have my personal guarantee.
Nigel, Michael, lovely to see you. Come on in.
You're looking surprisingly well, Prime Minister, considering the,
Well lived, Nigel.
Yes.
What do you think? Had it done by microsurgery. British medicine's the finest in the world. Tell you one thing, though. It's a good job I didn't sit down in that bath.
Yes, how very lucky that was.
Can't imagine you'd want to do that sort of thing, can you? Well, I do know one thing. I'll find out. Apple?
I have failed you, gentlemen. But have no fear. I know exactly what to do now.